Hey folks, Leafs played the Wild last night. Tight checking game, great outcome. Look, we're also going to get into some trade deadline stuff here, right here on the OZone.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach. That's KD. I'm the Diva. We're here to talk all things Leafs. We're going to get right into it today. KD, pretty good outcome. Nice game last night from the Leafs.
Yeah, I was obviously a lot happier with the game. More things went right. They played much more responsible. Really quite pleasantly surprised at Liljegren and Dermott playing as well as they did throughout the game with really very, very few mistakes. I thought they did that great. And then that's a signature game we saw from 34 last night. This is the type of Hart Trophy statements. 6 takeaways, 17 for 19 on draws. He was everywhere, completely dominated the whole ice, scored 2 beauties. That's the type of thing that the sports writers love. I think pretty soon, if not already, he's got to be 1 or 2 in the Hart Trophy candidacy. Maybe that's the type of game that could push him into the lead. But all around, pretty solid game. Pretty happy with it.
Yeah. All right, Coach, what did you see? What happened?
And Matthews was great. We did need a good start out of Mrazek, and he gave that to us. I don't know that I'd call him calm. He was less jittery, let's just say. And I thought Marner was fantastic too. So there's 3 M's. I thought they did a really nice job of balancing the load up front.
Yep.
If you look at Marner and Matthews played over 20 minutes. And Spezza and Simmons played less than 10. That's going to happen. They're your fourth line guys. Everybody else was between sort of 13 and a half and 17 minutes. So good job of sharing the load there. And then with Muzzin out, another M, I like the way they distributed the ice time on the D side. Here's what it looks like here. So you mentioned, Dermott, Liljegren were good. The big bear, the Russian bear, Lyubushkin was pretty solid
great.
as well as Sandin. Yeah, that guy fits. If I'm Justin Hall, pretty nervous right now. Especially since I sent you guys this text. I was uncomfortable typing it. I was unfamiliar typing these next few words. Dermott's been good. Mike, you correctly chastised me for saying it after 2 periods. But if Dermott's going to be serviceable on the third pair, the Russian bear is going to be serviceable. Liljegren's that's serviceable. Now we need to upgrade. We'll get into that more here later. Yep. But we needed to lock things down, a good defensive effort, get back in the win column, and we did. So good effort.
Yep. Yeah, agreed. I'm surprised you didn't go on this, Kev. It might be that you're working overtime there downtown, but structure. They that team comes at you with a lot of structure, and early on it was a little bit like no one wanted to give up an inch on the ice.
Yeah.
The Leafs stayed patient. They stayed in their structure, and it ended up paying off.
Did you guys see what Matthews said in between periods? He called it a chess game out there, which
right.
was, it kind of was.
Yep.
Everyone was being, very careful.
Yeah, and they don't give you a lot of ice. Like a lot of quick, gritty players that are just on the puck and just chasing it down. So
yeah, for a high-scoring team, that's right. They are pretty good defensively.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So listen, folks, we're going to get into something a little bit different here. We're going to spend some time on trade deadline stuff. We're going to break it down in an interesting way. The other day we read an article that by Joshua Cloak of The Athletic, and we're going to post it up here. It's basically who says yes or no on some hypothetical Leafs trades. We're going to get right into it because I think that's the best way to do it. We're going to hit up on, hopefully if we have time, three trade possibilities, and we're going to break down what it would mean, and we're going to go around the horn and find out who likes it. The first one here. Trade number 1. Here it is. The Leafs acquire defenseman Damon Severson from the Devils for a 2022 fifth-round pick. And a 2022 fifth-round pick. And New Jersey gets Travis Dermott, Nick Robertson, and the Leafs 2023 first-round pick, and the Leafs 2023 fourth-round pick. Coach, what do you think?
Well, so Damon Severson, do you mean this guy? pictured here, playing defense against the Phantom, Ilya Mikheyev. Mikheyev pulled a Magic Man, Cal Naughton Jr. Now you see me. Now you don't. He's on the other side of him. But in all seriousness, actually, Severson's pretty decent. My take on getting any D is, you don't just have to upgrade on Liljegren and Hall and now the Russian Bear. I think you have to get somebody better than Muzzin that can play with Muzzin and prop him up like he was propping Hall up in previous years. So is this guy that person? He's actually pretty good. $4.2 million cap hit. He's good puck mover. Here's a graphic that shows that. I'm not going to explain that here to the lay people that are our subscribers, mostly because I don't understand it. But here's a pro tip. Even in business, too. Somebody puts something up like this. In the top right, that's where the good stuff is. So this guy's in the top right. That's good. It actually means he's good at moving the puck. And I think the price is somewhat reasonable on this deal as proposed here. Here's a few recent deadline trades for defenders with term. You'll see Muzzin's one of them here. The give or the give back is actually pretty much in line with this. But man, if you're the Leafs, the cupboard is kind of bare, especially with the Amarov, news. So you hate giving up the first rounder. And Nick Robertson's part of this as constructed too. He just got called up. I hope he catches fire, and it's a guy you want to keep and maybe replace Kasha with. So I think in the end I'd do this deal, but I'd try and figure out a way not to include the first rounder and obviously not Robertson. I know I sound like Enzo from Woodbridge calling into the fan right now, trying to shortchange this deal. But I like Severson. I'd like to find a way to get him.
KD?
If you look at Robertson as a first-round pick, I think we can safely call him one. He's probably even safer than a first-round pick. We're essentially giving them 2 first-round picks. And as Scotty said before, there's not much behind this, and we're getting thinner and thinner and thinner. You get a bit of term with Severson, 1 year. I would have liked to have seen more because I don't think the salary is overdone. But if I'm getting rid of 2 first-round draft picks, I kind of want more term. Can Severson play? Yeah. Is he an upgrade? Yeah, he can play that top 4 minutes. He's actually quite physical at his number. He's not going to blow you away, but it might be one more of those guys that you don't hear their name during the game. He can play both sides, and in the playoffs he can clear the net. He can work on the cycle. So, like the player, as Scotty says, I just giving up 2 of those 2 players. I give up a first round pick and keep Robertson, or give Robertson and keep the first round pick. I just don't want to lose both.
I agree. I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. I think the Leafs give up too much futures for it. Top prospect. Look, one of their prospects now has a brain tumor. So, as you say, the cupboard is getting bare. You're giving up Nick Robertson and plus Dermott, plus a 4th round pick. It's just too much. I would rather give more guys off the roster if possible to replace that. If you could massage that deal and give up something up front, I would consider it more. Not a big fan. Let's get into scenario 2. Trade number 2. This one's an interesting one. Leafs acquire Josh Manson from the Anaheim Ducks and a 4th round pick, and they give up a 1st round pick, the 2022 1st round pick, and Ronnie Hirvonen. So, Katie, what do you think about this trade?
Well, this is kind of similar. If you say Hirvonen is a first-round pick, along with your first-round pick, you're giving away 2 first-round picks for a player with no term. I actually like this player, maybe of the group of the people we're talking about. I might like this guy the best to fit what the Leafs are looking to do. But you're going to lose him at the end of the year, and you're going to give up 2 first-round draft picks for it. To me, it's a non-starter.
Yeah. What about you, Coach?
Well, this is, by the way, Devo, I thought I was in downtown Helsinki hearing you pronounce Hirvonen's name. It just, chef's kiss.
It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
You should have heard my dad try to say it.
Well, that's the game right there. So this is a no. This is a no for me. Again, I think you need a guy better than Muzzin. And Josh Manson, to me, isn't that guy. You're getting virtually no offense. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe that's not what you need. But playing him and hoping he props up a partner. Hasn't been the case for the past couple of years. He played with Jamie Drysdale last year for part of the year. Drysdale's numbers were way better away from him than with him. It's the same this year for Hampus Lindholm. He's dragging down Hampus Lindholm. So can he play top 4 minutes? Yeah. He is a rental, and he is kind of declining. I don't know. If you look at rentals and what they've yielded, here's a first rounder is too steep. If you take a look, here's a whole bunch of them from the past 4 years. The arrow shows there's only one in here that included a first-round pick going back, and that was Shattenkirk, and that was actually with some salary retention. So all these have picks in them, but they're second, thirds, fourths. I think this is too much as it is. Oh, by the way, Dylon DeMelo is circled here because I have a feeling we're going to discuss him in a little bit.
Indeed. Yeah, listen, I actually don't hate this trade because I do feel that you are adding a body on D. You're not giving anything up on D, so you can shuffle some bodies around and make the best of what you've got left. I don't like that it's a rental, and again, the Leafs' futures are a bit of an issue now. If you could replace, one of those pieces with a Dermott, or the Russian Bear going the other way, then all of a sudden this deal to me makes a lot of sense. Because quite frankly, if you don't get out of the first round this year, who's left? Right? So Dubas has to do something. Let's get into the third trade. This is another interesting one. I'd love to hear what you guys think. So the Leafs acquire Dylon DeMelo from Columbus and a third-round pick. The Winnipeg Jets get Justin Hull, a second-round pick, and forward Alex Steeves. Coach, we'll run with you on this one.
Yeah, if you look at it, Hall for DeMelo only, it's not a bad trade. But like we just showed, he went for a third-rounder 3 years ago, Dylon DeMelo. So this is a pretty steep price if you include a second one and Steeves and Justin Hall for a marginal upgrade over Justin Hall itself. He does have a reasonable contract, right? $3 million, 2 more years beyond this one. But so does Hall. Hall's at $2 million, right? So, and then if you look at him, he's not giving you much offense. Here's another fancy graph. I had some geeks help me out with the slides here in today's pod. But a good defender. He's playing top 4 minutes for Winnipeg. Playing 19, 20 minutes a night. He's a nice upgrade. I think we can do better, though, right? Yep. Is he better than Muzzin? Is he going to prop Muzzin up? I'm not convinced.
Yeah. Okay, Katie, what do you think?
I like to give better. Rather than give up the draft cupboard, whatever. We're working off the roster a little bit more. I do agree with Scotty. I think all of these, to be honest, I believe all of these are kind of steep. I like DeMelo as a player too. This is probably the deal. If we had to pick one deal I like the best, just because I like what we're giving up the best. I think this guy's probably up the group, probably the second best of the defensemen behind Severson, but certainly if we can be creative and work a little bit, if you start talking about Hall, maybe even you talk about a Kerfoot or something like that goes, rather than going into see what we have off the draft board. I like better for sure.
Yeah, my issue with these trades is I'm looking at them all like it's the last deal possible, and maybe it's not. This does move the needle, not much. Losing a second-round pick or Steeves might not be so bad. Both is probably a bit too steep for my blood, or for my dollars. So I'm on the fence with this one, I'll be honest. I don't think Hull at his best, playing with Muzzin at his best, maybe this isn't that big an upgrade. A bit of one, not much. I don't think it's all you can do if you really want to try to compete in the East. Okay, folks, there you have it. Listen, do us a favor, get in the comments. If you disagree with us, we want to hear about it. And if you agree with us, particularly me, go on and on and on. We want to hear from you and be part of the action. Look, we're going to keep bringing you all the best information you can get about your Leafs because you deserve it. And we're going to bring it right here on the OZone.